BRUCAST is back, baby.
This BRUCAST episode is brought to you by the BRUCAST Store. Explore a store filled with awesome goodies from hoodies to t-shirts to mugs. We've got you covered. Stay in style with BRUCAST. Embrace the shock, set the trend. Visit now brew-cast.com/store. Link below.
Back with the fire, can't you see the flames? From Deutschland steps comes the BRUCAST name. Voices like thunder breaking all the chains. Unleash the fury like a runaway train.
Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to another BRUCAST episode. If it's your first time watching the show, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please rate the show 5 stars. This will ensure that the podcast recommends to even more people and allow me to keep doing what I love. BRUCAST also on Instagram, X, and TikTok, where I upload shorts with the highlights of the show. So follow now, BRUCAST on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Links in the description below.
Here we thrive, we survive!
Hey there, BRUCAST fans. I know what's up. You know what's up. It's time to talk about this month's giveaway. Yeah, you guys keep liking, you guys keep commenting, you guys keep subscribing. We're gonna keep doing the giveaways. All you have to do, well, is do all of those things. We're gonna announce the winner at the end of this month. Yeah, we're already in July. We're gonna announce the winner at the end of July 2025. At the end of this month, and the winner gonna win something from the BRUCAST store. We don't know yet. We're gonna see. And again, all you have to do in order to participate is like, comment, and subscribe. All right, stay tuned for that. Our guest today is Michael Leung. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for being part of BRUCAST. I'm eager to get to know you and get to know what you do. I mean, what about you introduce yourself first?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Michael Leung. I'm the CEO of the Flow Group. We're based out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So quite far away from Germany. But yeah, and I'm the owner of an assistive hearing device company that's trending very well right now. So yeah.
And just for context, right? It's not what you're wearing right now.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'll show afterwards. Yeah.
All right, Michael. So I think my first question would be, you seem young, right? And as far as I know, people start, let's say, worrying about hearing loss. Let's say when they get a little bit older. How did you got interested on it?
Yeah, I'm actually a lot older than I look. I'm
Really?
just 44.
Dude,
It's the Asian genes.
you're kidding me.
Yeah, full head of black hair, no wrinkles, But no kids and no marriage. That's the secret. Kept me youthful. But no, I didn't know I was gonna get into this business. I was always an entrepreneur. I was always into stocks, real estate. I worked in the hotel industry most of my teenage, early 20s, and there's a lot of discrimination there. And then after I just quit, but now ended up having a really severe retinal detachment 10 years ago, and over that time was the most struggling time I can remember physically. For 4 months I had to sleep facing down. I couldn't lift groceries, and it was just one of the hardest times of my life because I couldn't do anything, right? So I had to always stay home. I had to be led around, and it took 4 months to recover. And it was almost so severe that they said I could lose my vision completely. So it really opened my eyes about the quality of life afterwards, right?
So
But
I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but what happened exactly?
Oh, I had a serious retinal detachment. So my left eye went completely black, like a black curtain came down, and I couldn't see anything. So I was going blind pretty much, right? But I didn't know what a retinal detachment was back then. But they just told me my retinal detached, and then therefore the retina is actually what produces the vision, right? The image, right? So afterwards, I ended up getting 2 cataract surgeries as well at the age of 35, which most people get in their 70s or 80s, right? So I was way ahead of my time for my eyes. My eyes are very bad. It's -9, so I'm pretty much legally blind to
Oh my
begin with.
God.
So, someone wanted to, do a prank on me. They pull out my contact lens and put me in the middle of the forest somewhere. And I was struggling to find my way back, So yeah, so then after was where the worst came out to be, because my ex-girlfriend would notice I'd be very clumsy. Like I'd be walking into
Mm,
walls, I'd be tripping on stairs, I would leap off 2 steps of stairs, fall on my face. Um, I would shoulder check people a lot on my left side, right?
mm-hmm,
And people would try to shake my hand, I would ignore them because I can't see that side. So I realized that I had something really severe. I need to go get the doctors to check it out. So they told me I had something called the retinitis pigmentosa, which is a genetic mutation of the eye where I've lost my peripheral on the one side. That's why I'm tripping and bumping into things. I can't see anything but the central, right? So I lost my peripheral and my night vision. So then I have to be led around all the time. I don't go out at night anymore. It's been a challenge, when I work with seniors, I have to be careful. I don't step on their breathing tubes and stuff like that. But over the years, I've seen a lot of seniors at the specialists, and I started talking to them and realized that, if I was to come up with some product, it would be something that could help people with sight or hearing disabilities,
mm-hmm.
and my product does both. So,
Wow. Wow, that's the best kind of products. That's the best kind of impact that you do in the world. Is like something that touches your heart, right? I have a friend. He attended AA, so
yep.
how do you say it again? Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I won't say his name because it's anonymous. But the thing is, one of the things he told me is, Bruno, like when you reach one of the steps, I don't know, one of the steps is all about supporting other people, other alcoholics. And why I'm saying all of that, because he mentioned something that would really touch me. He said the best impact that you can do in the world is when you like identify the struggle of someone else, and that struggle is something that you surmounted, and now you can help them. And
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
he says
Yeah,
like one
100%.
of the most fulfilling things that he has ever done, and it kind of I feel there's some kind of similarities there.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like
Yeah,
the fact that my clients can resonate with me, that I'm not just a salesperson,
yeah,
that I experience what they experience in life, so that they can resonate, right? That's the best seller you can do for people, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you got me a little bit intrigued there, Michael. So you said that your product helps with vision and hearing. How is that
That's right.
possible?
That's right. So it's an assistive hearing device. I'll show you. Looks like this. So it looks like it's a bone conduction headphone, right? You can see many of these out there, but none of them can actually do what mine does. Because when you have a regular bone conduction headphone, they can play music. You can listen. You can talk on the phone. You can stream. Um, so a lot of people that do sports and people that are business people like to use it because it's an open ear design, right? So you can feel the the environment around you without the something plugging your ears, right? Like the traditional earbuds, etc. Right? So that's why it's a very healthy way of hearing. And I decided to add an amplification to it. And the amplification now aids hearing for people that have hearing loss. So from mild, moderate to even severe hearing loss. And we did testing with hundreds of people from ages 10 to 95. And because it's an amplification, it enhances your hearing, right? So for for a lot of people that can't afford hearing aids or they just hate wearing hearing aids, this is something that they found was perfect for them because now they're not spending $8,000, they're spending $300, and it actually does amplify and increase their hearing by a lot, right? So we've been trying to work with people of all ages, even low income people, because this is very affordable for people that just don't own hearing aids at all. Now they can have something to use to improve their hearing. And for people that have sight, like myself, if you have severe sight loss, so where you're born with a severe blindness, right? you need this device to help you navigate, right? Because you need your hearing to be like Daredevil now. So then you welcome the background sounds. You want to hear the footsteps, the door closing from a distance, you know? This amplifies everything. So it helps people that are blind for sure. I have some blind athletes I work with, and they use this to really help them navigate, to just be aware of their surroundings even more. Yeah.
So that's the part where that's the part of seeing better. That's what you mean?
So when when your sight is diminished, you need your hearing to be next level. That's what I mean, right? So now
Oh,
your other senses now super enhanced. So they can use that as a strength now, right? Extra strength to hear what's around them, to navigate, to see what's going on, right? Without seeing, of course, but hearing. Yeah.
yeah, that's something that I've seen already online. There was this guy, I think he's from Brazil. His whole deal was he was blind, and he developed like an ecosystem like bats do. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah.
it's common.
You train yourself, you train your other senses, right? But in this
Oh,
case, it's like a product that enhances it. So now you don't need to really train as hard. It's just there for you, right? So yeah.
yeah. By the way, guys, this is not a paid infomercial, nothing like that. It's like it's not a promo, anything like that. I'm just genuinely
Mhm.
interested on the product. Wow. Um, the price though, like it sounds like a big cut compared to the other hearing aids because so I live in Gütersloh. You need to bring the product to Güter in Germany. It's a very small town here,
Yeah.
full of old people. They will love it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Well, seniors I work with them the most because I got my foot in the door because my best friend is a executive director to a senior home. And she felt that by getting the trust of seniors in the market is untapped because a lot of them just are frustrated with hearing aids because they lose like two or three of them in their lifetime and they cost thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
So they're just fed up. They're like, please, like we need this new option. Like, tell us. So when I told people, no one heard about it, no one's ever seen it, and till this day, no one's seen it or heard of it. So that's why I'm getting the exposure as much as I can, just to tell everybody what these products are, and hopefully be available globally sometime soon. Yeah.
Why is that those quote unquote traditional ear hearing devices are so goddamn expensive then? What's why?
Yeah. So for my theory is they overprice it because they feel like it's they're like one of the only sources, right? That's why this is considered for me, I'll be a big competition for them later, and I'm sure they feel it now, right? But it should never cost that much money for people to hear because it's like, especially for seniors, you can charge them $8,000. That's, to me, that's ridiculous. But it's because hearing aids over the years, they go through a lot of testing, get stuff approved, that stuff kind of mounts up the cost, right? So I decided to not make mine medical so people can
Mm,
afford it. They can buy it at Walmart, Best Buy later, just plug it off the shelf, put it on, and it works. So people appreciate that kind of, convenience for them too, right? Convenience, affordability, healthy. Nothing is in the ear. So this is outside your ear, sits on your upper cheekbone. So then you can be aware of surroundings, no intrusive, no obstruction ear canal. So you can just listen through bone conduction where the sound vibrations just go right into your ears. And it really depends person to person how bad their hearing is. Depends how bad their hearing is, then they can get the most of this product, right? So I have seniors that combine the hearing aids with this product too, where the hearing aids almost worn out. Now they combine this amplification and it re-heightens all their hearing again so they don't need to buy new hearing aids. And I hear so many seniors they lose it, their dog eats it, they lose one, they replace another, and it's so finicky where they go on the dance floor, they dance, they shake a little, and it pops out of their ears, right? So it's just this is something that's just easy to use, senior friendly, and you can never lose something that looks this like it weighs 28 grams, but it's something you can easily find, and you don't have to worry about losing. And if you do, you lose $300, not $8,000, right? So, and the fact it works just as well as hearing aids or better. So that's the other positive feedback I'm getting, right?
mm. You did mention the word medical there. So what would be the main differences between the medical one and yours?
It's just there's not much difference. It's just the fact that it's been put through all the testing to make
Oh,
it
okay.
FDA approved, right? I know if I put through the testing, it could be medically approved, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to because once it's done, it'll be $1,000 because I put it through so much testing. It costs money, right? To test it and put it through all the stages and everything. So that's another reason why I feel like it's been overpriced for hearing aids. But that's why I feel like if I keep my price low and not medical, people would respect that it doesn't have to be medical to work. And I've proven that to a lot of people it works, right? So um, yeah, I think medical is just a term. I mean, I'm sure it just gives people that confidence that oh, it's approved by the FDA, it's approved by the hospitals, right? So it's okay to use because some people get a little paranoid that if it's not medical, you can't, get the full, or it could be something that doesn't work or something doesn't work particularly well with their medical, issues or something, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah. I remember, man, when I was a teenager, I used to go to all of those parties and stuff. And one of my thing, it's not just me. A bunch of people used to do that. Maybe they should do. They get as close as they can to the sound box, because then you can feel all the vibration. You're like, oh, I'm vibing, I'm feeling. That's the best night of my life. Especially if you're
Yeah.
drunk, you don't care. And then the next day, you just have this bzzz in your ear and
Oh
the
yeah.
ring in your ear, and I would not understand. I would just ask my parents, my friends, what the fuck, do you have this as well? What's happening? And they're like, Bruno, yeah, that's the sound of you going deaf. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I never did it again. I was so scared of this shit. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tons of people. A lot of my friends actually went to raves back then, right? They blast, it ruins your eardrums over time. So this is something that's good for maintaining healthy hearing, but also it's working for people that are mechanics, carpenters, oil riggers, to anyone that has had work related noises and even partiers like ravers, people that DJs, right? They go in their ears always like, going through tremendous massive sounds that are just blowing through your eardrums, right? That can take a toll on your ears. And as you get older, it just keeps going downhill. It's never going to improve. It just gets worse and worse and worse until you need something like a hearing aid, right? So in this case, it's so trendy that it looks like a headphone, but it's not. You're not going to get the stereotypical judgment by people that you're wearing a hearing aid, right? So that's another cool factor of this, that people that are young can wear this without being judged.
oh yeah, I would assume that's a big factor. Imagine you're like 20, 25, I don't know, for whatever reason you need hearing aids and you have this
Yeah.
little gray thing, beige thing with the little cord, like
Yeah.
your friends would just bully you.
Oh
For
shoot.
what?
Imagine going on a date, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, it's impressive. I was thinking about this other product that I saw there the other day is the Ray-Ban. I think now they have the Ray-Ban MetaQuest, which records and has a proper sound box coming out of the device. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the early versions also had this bone vibration thing. Have you?
Uh,
Yeah,
Ray-Ban, eh? Is that the sunglasses company?
yeah.
Oh shoot, I didn't know they had something like the brands I know is like Shox or Mojawa and stuff. They're the big bone conduction brands out there. But we're priced just as competitive as them, but they don't have the amplification like mine, right? So that's why mine can be used for everything. Plus, you use it to socially interact with people now, like a hearing aid, right? So it's a assistive hearing device that's built into this headphone. So that's kind of it's cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any side effects to this bone? How it's called again? The
Bone
vibration?
conduction.
Bone
Bone
conduction?
conduction.
Yeah.
Bone conduction. Yeah, yeah. Not that I know of, because it is the healthiest way of hearing, because it's just natural ambient sounds. That's that the transducer, which is the front pad, right? that sits securely in the front of your cheekbone, right? So it takes the data, the sound, the audio data, it converts it into sound vibrations that travel along your outer, middle, and inner ear, right? And then from there, it converts it into electrical signals where your brain recognizes sound through the cochlea and the auditory nerve, right? So you have a healthy-ish auditory nerve. It should work very well. And people, seniors, they usually, their inner ear is wearing down. So that's why I test them to make sure it's working well, because not everybody that has severe hearing loss could work for this, because there's limitations for everything, right? So I would say 90% of my people that have tried it all found it useful, which is a great number because you can't impress everybody, right? For anything, right? So
Mm.
I feel like the numbers is up there. The price is so affordable. People just radiate towards it. And I have a second product coming out in 2 months, and people are pre-ordering already. So it's something, it's a necessity, right? For hearing and sight, it's something you need forever. Like you need that, you know, and if it's something can enhance it to make it better for $300, it's a good investment, right?
I agree, but you just made me think of Neuralink, right? Have you been following the latest innovations in the Neuralink
N-
space?
No, no.
So apparently they start doing like they're expanding the test trials. Everything's test trials right now, but I think
Yeah,
they have about 6 people wearing them, and they're like controlling computers. And as far as I know, that's the extent of it. But
yeah, yeah.
Elon Musk, Elon Musk is like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna go to Mars in 6 months. We don't know, but one of the things he said is like telepathy is coming next. We're gonna be able to exchange thoughts. I think it's a little bit crazy for me to ask how worried are you about it. I don't see it happening anytime near. Like,
Yeah, no, not too worried about, because like my products is more like for hearing and stuff. Like
yeah,
even if, like AI, all that stuff. Like seniors are very, especially people with dementia and stuff. Like they want the product as simple as possible. The more techy it gets, they don't even pay attention. So for my product, it only has a couple of buttons. So even for that, they need like some practice. So I feel like any other product out there that's aimed for seniors, you got to make it senior friendly. Otherwise, they're not gonna touch it. So that's why I always try to keep that in mind too, right? So especially I work with kids with autism. Like people they just want something just very quick and easy to use, right? So
yeah, yeah. So you're telling me you don't have an app?
an app.
Yeah,
No, 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 no app. Oh, like an app like to control
yeah,
the, like, yeah, like a little like computer thing for it or something. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, no. Like to track, like just to track things and track people.
No, I'm asking because like nowadays everything has an app. I bought what did I buy? I bought a filter for my
Yeah,
house, like a
yeah, yeah.
air humidifier, and
Oh yeah,
like basic stuff. Oh, you need to download the app. Oh, you need to download the app. I bought
yeah, yeah.
like everything that I buy nowadays, even the fridge. Like, okay, I don't have the fridge with the app, but I know they exist.
Yeah, yeah, no apps, man. Yeah, maybe that's the good thing about it, because I bought a couple of things, like a ring. It's called a Aura ring. I don't know if you heard of it. So you use it for help regulate sleep and like working out and stuff. That has an app. I bought like an LED face mask thing that has an app too. So it's like everything. Yeah, you're right. Has apps to. And some people are paranoid about like personal information and all that stuff, right? But no, for me, it's like I have Shopify. I use that as my network for e-commerce.
Mm.
Besides that, there's Bluetooth on it, and they can pair the Bluetooth with it. That's it. That's If they want to know more, they go on my website. There's a instructional video they can follow along, and that's pretty much the end of it, right? So yeah, no app is needed for this. So yeah,
But I'm gonna be honest. I feel like from an outsider, so that's my first perspective, right? My first impression of your product. I feel like that's a very good thing. I miss the iPod. I'm so pissed that I have my phone like Spotify. It's a weird thing to say. I know. I have all the games in the world on my iPhone. I have all the songs in the world on my iPhone. But the problem is, I also get notifications and FaceTime calls. It's just, in my opinion, having like this convergence of all your information, all your things in one device kind of takes away a little bit of experience of them all.
Yeah.
So I'm considering. I know, guys, I know, but it's a hard thing to say. But I'm considering stop paying Spotify and start building my library again, like my music library again, just
Yep.
because I'm tired of having an app, specific app for everything. Like I would say I'm not the only one, and the more disconnected you are, let me rephrase it. Being a little bit more disconnected, I think would help a lot of people nowadays, and having not having an app for flow, it's a good step in my opinion. Especially it's for seniors, right? So
Yeah, yeah, for everybody, but for especially for seniors, I think less is more. Less is better. Because a
so
lot of them they don't own cell phones. That's the other thing, right? So I've like 80% of them don't own cell phones because they're just not, they have a house phone and that's all they have, right? Because they're older, so they can't even they find it hard to learn the technology in cell phones, right? So that's another reason why it's good there's no apps, or else you lose that clientele right there, right? Just because it has to be through an app, right? So
yeah. Can you? But so that's the thing. It kind of looks like a headphone. That's why I think I thought about an app. So you cannot play music on it at all. Like I don't know why I
no.
imagined that you could.
Oh, you can play
Oh,
music.
you
Yeah, you
could.
can do it. You can use it to play video games, listen to music, everything. But podcasting, I think it's different because podcasting you have to plug a wire into my phone into the speaker, right? Into the mic, right? But this one is a hands free, so I don't think it can pair like Bluetooth with it, or maybe it can, right? Just yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe it could. I just haven't tried it, but but I should try that actually. See if I can use it for podcasting. But I think you have to plug it into your phone to the mic in order to have a good podcasting. That's pretty why. So, but everything else you can use it for. Listen to music. If you want to listen to your Spotify, Apple, you can YouTube. You can use it for anything really, like going for jogging. Like you can use it for phone calls that come in and out. Let's watch TV. It amplifies the TV sounds. There's um there's a control volume for indoor, outdoor vocal settings now. That's my new product, right? There's three settings where it can control the environment you're in because there's different frequencies. So the new product is what opened more eyes, right? My first product was more of a base model. So
Mm.
one size fit all. There's no volume changing on it, and no indoor outdoor. So now I changed it into the more advanced version in every way. So, and it actually filters the background sounds too. So it has a noise reduction. So that's why a lot of people like it. They don't like when you wear hearing aids, you hear background sounds. It can drive you crazy, especially for dementia patients. They can only focus on certain things. So when you have noises in the back, it really confuses them, right? So hearing aids also obviously get background sounds. So this product, they say it's even better. So I feel like this is just going to change the hearing industry by a lot. So you're going to hear about it in the summer. You know, it's going to be blowing up.
Yeah. Hopefully. Um,
Hopefully,
um, so let me see if I got it straight. It kind of has a noise canceling feature. Is
yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah. Noise canceling, yeah, noise reduction. It's called the environmental noise cancellation. So that's, and it also has something called digital sound processor. So these are the two things that's been added into this headphone to, so it's already built in. So then when you wear it, it already filters out the background sounds. So that's a great thing. When I start testing seniors, they notice that they're like, oh, we don't hear the extra sounds or the extra tinniness or the extra like people talking in the background as much, because they actually minimizes it by a lot, right? So people can respect this new product because everything out there you can hear the background feedback sounds. This doesn't. So that's why when when the world finds out about this, they're gonna jump on this. Yeah.
All right. Wow, like, that's exciting. I mean, and if you, I assume if you're deaf, if you just take it out, then you don't hear anything, right? Because the thing is,
Yeah.
at work, I wear those noise canceling headphones, and I love them. They're super cool. But the thing is, I can still hear uh, a little bit of the sound of like people around me. It doesn't cancel 100%
Hmm.
of the sound.
Yeah.
And
This is different. This is different though, because it's, you see it's an open ear, so you're still gonna be aware of your surroundings. You can still hear people, but it's not gonna be that amplified sound that you hear while you talk to the people. Like if you talk to a small group, you hear the small group, right? But my old product and hearing aids, apparently you hear that, plus you hear people from far away. You can hear the footsteps, you can hear the door shutting, like you hear everything. So in this case, it just filters out those extra sounds in the back, but you can still hear, stuff around you, right? It's not like
mhm,
it's going to filter everything because it's an open ear design. Your ears are exposed, right? So
yeah.
I think like the one I'm wearing right now, if you have noise cancellation, it will trap the sounds in, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Michael, so you mentioned that throughout life our hearing kind of, I mean, we kind of lose our hearing kind of naturally, right?
Yeah.
Is that the case with everyone? Because I feel like I met a couple of seniors in my life, and I feel like the degrees of hearing loss changed drastically. Uh, is that solely because of their lifestyle, or there's other factors involved?
Oh, for sure. I've worked with so many seniors, and some actually have pretty good hearing. Some
Yeah.
actually they don't need hearing aids, but they just need a little bit of extra, something to help them, right? To hear clear, especially in small groups, or maybe TV sounds. Some of they can hear the loud sounds, but then when someone's talking quieter, they can't hear it. So I rarely come across a senior that has perfect hearing because they're very blessed if that's the case. Because most of them are around mild or moderate and severe. So really ranges, and it's based on genetics. If they have good genetics, that's a big factor. If they never had any accidents or any trauma caused to the ears, their ears last a lot longer. So a lot of people have sicknesses where it can cause a lot of damage. Noise, like factory work, like people that work in factories. Any If they're staying away from those, they probably have pretty decent ears. But most cases, it's mild, moderate, severe. So that's why when I go to senior homes, there's always so many people watching my event because they all have something, right? Just they don't know what it like how they know how bad it is because they get their ear tested, but mine you don't need to get tested. But when they try it, it helps people of all ranges, right? So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I didn't know genetics was a fact. I thought it was solely lifestyle, but it makes sense. Yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
my grandfather. He's the worst. He started losing his hearing, and I would just talk to him, and he would just agree, and I was like, "Bro, are you listening? Even listening to what I'm saying?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, of course. You're not listening to what I'm saying." And he would just agree. It was so infuriating, and I would
Yeah.
say, "Hey, pops, you have a hearing problem." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, okay," and he just agrees again. Anyway, I don't think he ever treated and or looked for a device or anything like that. But man, it's so annoying. He just agrees. He doesn't
Yeah.
care. He just doesn't care.
Oh, for sure. Like I have my uncle is a great example. So he's 70 something years old. He has hearing loss, so he can't hear. He claims he can't hear any of the women in the house, so he's saying selective hearing, but he can hear them.
Ah.
He can hear the men, but so when they tell him to wash the dishes, he can't hear, right? But so then they're like, "Oh, Michael's doing this product, and my cousin, his son,
Mm.
comes to my events to help me as a volunteer." So they're like, "Hey, Dad, you should come test his product," right? Asians are very hard to impress, especially older Asian generations. It's my uncle. He came down, he tested it, and he still didn't want to buy it, even though it worked for him, because he's just like, I don't want to have anything in my ears, right? So he's always like, huh, huh, huh. I can't hear anything, and it drives his family crazy. So my cousin put it on him while he's sleeping one day because it's so gentle, it's so lightweight. So he started walking around with it without knowing it's on his head. So that's how light it is. A lot of people just wear it and then they just walk around for 8 hours. They don't even feel anything. That's how like comfortable it is, right? So he started talking and hearing much better. And that was the only time he's actually finally like, okay, fine, I'll buy it. I'll buy it now.
Oh
But
my
even
god.
right at my event, he won't buy it. I'm like, why? I'm your nephew, you know, like come on, like. But some ethnicities are just like that, right? But most people that I work with, it's so rewarding and gratifying for me because you see their eyes, you see them light up. Like seniors, they're like, "Oh my God, I can hear so well! Like I didn't know there's something like this." Or I have a gentleman that was deaf, or sorry, yeah, he was deaf for 8 years. He had a sickness in the middle of his ears, so he had to remove an anvil bone, which is one of the three bones in your ears, right? So once you remove it, there's no sounds that can penetrate. There's a big wall blocking it, right? So I didn't know about all this till later. So as I study more and more about, different types of deafness, he was told bone conduction was the only thing that's going to ever help him, but he never tried it. So until I tried him on my trial, and he's one of the testimony guys on my pamphlets on my internet, he had a severe infection in the middle where the middle had like pus or something. It was all building up, right? So that's why he was losing his hearing, right? I don't know for what for, but the middle ear is completely blocked out. So the moment we put on this headset, the sound vibrations bypassed through that wall and went directly into his good inner ear. So the whole time he was actually fine. He could hear. It's just that one part that needed to be bypassed, right? So the bone conduction, the sound vibrations actually penetrated through that area and went directly to his ear and he could hear right away. So when I saw him, he's like, "Oh my God, I can hear like so well with this headphone." And because he's trialing it, he got it for free. So he's like so happy, right? And now he goes on dates with it. He goes on meetings and he's like, "Wow, like for 8 years I couldn't hear anything and now I can hear." It's like stuff like that, like
Yeah, man, life-changing stuff. That's amazing.
life changing for sure.
Yeah, well, some stupid thing that I used to do as a teenager for some reason popped in my head right now. We used to take the earbuds, put in our noses like this, and then
Yeah.
open our mouths and hear the music coming out of our mouth. I think it just proves how kind of all this area here, like it's just sound sensitive, right? I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah. For sure, for sure.
All right, Michael. So my question would be, okay, you had this idea. Let's say one day you just popped into your mind and like, I can do this. I'm gonna do this. What are the next steps? I cannot imagine. What did you do next? You start sketching? Do you contact someone? Do you have a 3D printer? Like, walk us through this process of idea to final product because I honestly
Yeah.
have no clue how this works.
Oh, for sure. Like I was new to this too, right? So it was just all learning on your own. But a lot of work. My ex-girlfriend, we were together for 12 years. She helped a lot with like the websites, like building like the visuals and stuff, getting models to take pictures. But in the beginning, it was a lot of testing of different samples. They would have to change a couple of things, tweak it out where I say I don't like this, and they would just like try to make it better, and then I'll try it again and try it again until I found something that was finally working well with most people. Then I finally was able to say, okay, this is the one, right? In China, you can find the right people to work with, but you have to make sure you find the right people that have good quality products, not just there's a lot of bad stuff out there in China. That's why sometimes they get a bad rep for it, but there is a lot of good stuff in China too. That's why a lot of people buy from China because there is some really good quality stuff, right? So after that, it's just like trademarking. You gotta like there's the steps to it. It took me 2 years to finally get it trademarked officially from the States. Canada, like China stuff, I have it all like trademarked, but it takes years for them to get to it, right? So you got to have like different marketing agreements. Lawyers have to get involved. You got to get barcodes. You got to get warehouse. You got to. There's just a lot of different things for businesses, and obviously you have an e-commerce ready, like Shopify. You got to work with Squarespace. You got to have ways for people to buy it. You got to for me, it's like anyone can have a product. If you can't sell it to anyone, it's just a dead product, right? So for me, it's like I've created an identity for this because no one else is doing it, right? Because I got my foot in the door in the hardest industry to get into, which is seniors. And they don't trust anybody, right? So if they get your trust, because they get scammed all the time by a lot of people calling them, tricking them and stuff, and they're very aware of who is actually like tricksters out there, right? So I do so many events there with all seniors, and they tell me how much they love this product, and to me that is a winning feeling, right? Especially you see it improves their life visually. I see it, and you know it's gratifying, right? So I feel like this can help people all over the world when it gets a chance because it can help everyone. Everyone has hearing loss to some point of their life, right? And even if you don't, you can wear this for just to keep well, balanced and well health, like good health of your ears, right? Because nowadays kids wear this, the big bass ones that like like destroy your ears, right? We don't care back then, but now people are like, I wish I never did that. I wish I never sat by the DJ and messed up my ears. It's too late now.
Yeah. I stopped. I had a what do you say in English? Like a drop of conscience. I don't know the term, guys. I'm not. I'm in German. But anyway, yeah. So would you say that between actually manufacturing the product, designing the product, and selling? So selling is where the magic lies. It's where you need to put the most effort because, as you mentioned, if you have a product that you cannot sell, it's like a dead product. So
Exactly. Marketing, yeah, marketing, advertising, yeah, it takes a while. Social media, very important, right?
yeah.
And I did a lot of it myself for a while. That's why I'm so overworked, but I have a social media team now. Soon I'm gonna hire, I have a warehouse now. I'm starting to grow, so yeah, it takes time, but a lot of work in the beginning, like 14, 15 hour work, just reaching out to people, doing events, doing guest speaking events and vendor events and try to sell products, one by one, and then hopefully, get to hundreds and thousands and, stuff like that later, right? But like for me, it's like it is so life changing that I feel like that's why everyone, you such as yourself, it was radiating towards this profile or this topic, right? This and I'm doing like many podcasts, and I feel like a lot of people just like the whole idea of this entrepreneur that has the disability himself and trying to get awareness for other people, and then now he's trying to promote this product that helps other people with disabilities, right? So it's a great social impact story, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have someone selling you something that you know that they understand, like they actually themselves use the product, like it puts some weight into it.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
When I was at university, one of my projects was to it was like the design class, and we had to design. Oh, 1 second, I'm getting some echo here. Let me see if that helps. 1 2 3 test 1 2 3. I think it helped.
Yep.
So one of my classes was design class, and we had to design something. And for whatever reason, I remember that in my city they had a it's not a school, it's like kind of center where mute people would go. So people who cannot speak, they call them
Oh, okay.
mutes, right?
Yeah.
And they would go there to talk with the sign language, and that was a completely alien world for me, completely foreign. I had no idea how things work there, but it drew my attention. And since I had to design something, I was like, well, we'll not design something to make their lives better, like something that would help them. And my teacher said, well, that's great, Bruno, that's a good idea, go there. I was like, what? And he said that that's like one of the fundamentals of design. You need to understand the people for whom you're designing the product for.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and I went there like with my mind open. Like I didn't know what I was expecting, but I was willing to learn. And man, it was life changing. To this day, I remember that experience. We were a group. There was me and some other people also designing the product, but I was the one who went there, And man, it was so touching. I went there like literally just to get to know them. And they start asking some questions. They start laughing at me. I was like, and then would say, Bruno, what kind of questions did you ask? I started asking, but do you guys? I was 15, okay, like I don't know, but do you guys date? Do you guys like go to parties? And they start laughing. Of course we do. Uh,
Yeah,
like the common thread and the bottom line there was we're normal people. We do everything that we you do.
yeah,
The only difference is we have this other language. It's like
yeah,
Chinese for you, but we call it
yeah,
sign language. And
yeah,
my
yeah,
and for some reason my mind was blown. I was like, whoa, they are like people. They are like me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I joke you not, just by
yeah,
having this experience, just by having this connection, just by knowing those people with those deficiencies personally,
yeah,
it just gave me so much more empathy,
yeah.
and I put so much more care into the product that I would not have done it if I have not gone there.
Oh, for sure. Like for me, it's like
Um,
when I see seniors, like I have an eye disability, right? For them, they have eyesight, they have health, you know, everything. They can't walk. Like this, they have Alzheimer's, they have dementia, they have you know, their hands, you know, they have arthritis, they have so many things. So for anyone, so I look at it as like, okay, I have this sight issue right now, but I see how much they're going through in 10, 20 different ways. And I can see why a lot of seniors are very down, very sad. So a lot of my reasons I go into is to build up their happy, you know, confidence, because this product actually improves morale of the senior home, because
mm,
when they can hear, people are not shouting at each other anymore. So it makes the environment, workers, people, family, everyone's happier because now the senior can hear. They're no longer forced to wear hearing aids that they just don't like wearing, so they put it aside. So they're always like, you know, they're like, what? I can't hear. And they feel excluded. That's the term. They feel excluded. That's why your grandfather was saying he heard, but he really didn't hear. So if you ask him, hey, repeat what I said, Grandpa, he'd probably be like, I can't tell you because he can't. But they just like to say it because they want to feel included, but they really feel excluded deep inside. So they tell me that they feel very sad that they're not into technology, that they take forever to learn. So for them to have someone like me that sit there for hours just to talk to them, so you know, hear the stories, hear about their disability, and really try to help them with this product, it makes them so enlightened, right? That's why I feel like my personal journey, people see that I'm hands on and really working with people, not just selling it and throwing it, hey, buy it, you know? Like I actually spend time. Like even after this, I'm going working out and I'm going to senior homes to test them. And you know, whether they buy or not, for me, I don't pressure them, but it's to give the exposure that's out there. And over time, people start calling, hey, were you here last week? Oh, hey, like my son or my grandfather heard, and it's like passed on, you know, word of mouth, word of mouth. So
mm,
now I'm doing many different cities now. So eventually across Canada, I hope, right? So people are welcoming in to do presentations. So I just don't have an octopus arm, you know, I can't be in different places, right? So it's been cool though. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, regarding your story, though, one of the things that you wrote in your profile is that you're an immigrant and experienced PTSD. Like, whoa!
Yeah.
I feel like there's a whole background story that we don't know
You
about.
missed, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, my life is it's been a crazy story since like, you know, because I did a documentary on legacy makers, which is it's similar to what we're doing, except it talks about my entire life, struggles, challenges from, you know, PTSD, ADHD to alcoholism, addiction, bankruptcy, like everything. I almost died a couple times.
Whoa.
It's yeah,
Oh
like
man, I keep
so a lot
forgetting
of
that
different
you're 44.
44,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you
But
look so young.
yeah, yeah. Luckily, because no kids, man. My friends all have kids. They're all balding. They all have white hair,
Oh my
gray
God.
hair. I don't recognize them anymore. It's stressful. But like me and my ex-girlfriend, we just believe in traveling, right? We love traveling.
Yeah.
So therefore, we just enjoy the freedom. So we just never had that in our cards. But when we first came to Canada, I couldn't speak much English. So my parents were leaving Hong Kong because we were worried about the communist China taking over, right? So that actually didn't happen until many years later. We just left earlier thinking they were going to take over. But when I came to Canada, it was for my elementary, junior high days, I talked about how I thought it was the happiest time of my life because it's the most carefree. I didn't have bullies. I didn't have anyone picking on me. People accepted me for how I looked, how I dressed, and this foreign kid. So I compare myself to Fez from that '70s group, the '70s show. Fez, I don't know if you heard Fez, right? So he's hanging out with the cool guys, but he's this immigrant. So I felt like I was like Fez. But it wasn't until I lost my mom at age 12. That's when everything went downhill for 20 years. Because she's my best friend. My mom was a loving, nurturing person. My dad was more, strict, general. He wasn't close to the kids. So when my mom died of cancer, part of me died too, right? So I was religious, and then all my faith went down the hill because I prayed every day to God, and she died the most horrific way,
What
and I lost
happened?
all. She had a bone cancer, and then it
Oh
went
my
into
God.
into her lungs, and near the end of her death, she lost her hair. She couldn't recognize me, and it was close to Mother's Day, so that always resonated towards me. And in her funeral, I was gonna jump into like the burial ground into it with her. I was like, I want,
Oh
like my
my
mom,
God.
my mom, like, and so after that, I had a black heart. Like my heart was empty. So I went from being a straight A student to fighting at school to stealing to hang out with people that were just like just always causing fights. Like, and I had a lot of issues. I got kicked out of school, a couple of times, and a lot of like big group fights. Like I got injured. Like a lot of bad decisions because you start radiating towards other misfits that are going through the same kind of stuff, right? Because you're not close with your family. Your mom's dead, so now you radiate towards hang out with these other kids that are just your new family, right? So they're like, let's go correct havoc, do whatever we want, and for the longest time, I just didn't care. I was like, I didn't go to school, like I just like didn't care, and I finally went back to school and got my graduate and then went to college, and but it was just years of that and just partying, drinking, and going to raves, going to bars all the time, to the point where I almost went bankrupt, almost lost my house because I started spending way too much on just buying rounds and rounds of people I don't even know, try and impress girls back then. So I realized that I started getting letters saying I'm behind 2 months in payments in mortgage. My car payments are behind. So then I was like, oh my God, right? So I had to borrow money. I started I invested money with people that had their ideas and it never panned out. So I'm losing money through friends, which I tell people never trust your friends. Friends and business don't match, So now I do my business. I don't connect, I don't want my friends involved, right? But like just discrimination, a lot of racism through the years too, right? So there's a part where people are just calling me racist Asian names, and that's why it also causes us to fight people because people back then just try to get under your skin. They don't know those words hurt, or I'm sure they know it hurts, but they just try to piss you off, But when you're young and just like full of rage, you just let it out, right? So
Yeah.
then you just do stupid things, and I'm pretty sure I'm sitting here today because my ex-girlfriend of 12 years finally knocked on my head, say, "Hey, wake up, right? You can't be living this lifestyle and be so too trusting of people, right? This is your downfall, So now I do everything myself. I don't take as big of a risk unless it's calculated, that calculated risk, where I do the research, I do everything, your due diligence. You have to do those things, right? But I tell people you gotta take the risk. You gotta, even though you're going through troubles of everything, PTSD. My PTSD stems from my mom passing away and all the years of like the crazy fights and all the stuff I've seen, right? Like that stuff I cannot,
Please wait, everyone. We need to
mm,
fix the stream.
yeah.
Oh, you're back. All right. Please go on.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm 6 months sober now. Me and my ex, so we I think we broke up, but then we're still in good we're cordial, we're mature. So but there's like last November I was just super down because we've been together for 12 years, and she's been the best part of my life, right? But we just grew apart. So then I was just like so sad, no Christmas without her. I was just like drinking every day, like more than usual. And this was literally like 8 months ago. And my friends had to drag me out of hell. You know, I was just like locking myself in, don't bother me, crying every day, watching sad movies by myself. And then they told me like, hey, you got this product, you're helping people. Like you cannot just give up, you know, like people, you could be changing lives. So then that really triggered me. And I had to remove a lot of my toxic friends. So I actually cut off 90% of my friends that just are toxic, where they get me to drink all the time and party, and cut everybody off, focus on my career now, and everything's been blossoming ever since. So it's amazing, right? How if you focus your channel your energy away from the negative people, it really changes your life. Even if you're a hermit, it's still better than being around negative people.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, if you're a hermit, it's just you and nature, and in case we're talking about like nature, I don't know, but
Yeah,
when I think about hermit, I feel someone in a cave meditating. But I
yeah,
but
that's what it was.
but my point is, I feel like the brain, your brain, is there to help you. I heard that before. That when you sleep and you go through the REM process, that's actually your brain kind of helping you process the trauma. And I mean, we don't need to go that far. When you have a cut, your skin heals itself after a while, right? So even though you're a hermit, just by cutting all those problems out of your life, no matter what, slowly gonna get better. That's my
Oh, for sure.
impression of it, at least.
Yeah, scars. There's scars, but then scars slowly go away, right? It's never gonna go away, but there's deep scars there for everybody, right? So,
Yeah.
just same thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we had talking about breakups. We had a specialist yesterday on the podcast.
Oh.
2 days,
Hmm.
yeah, 2 days ago. So her name is Dominica. You
Hmm.
can, by the way, for our listeners, you can check the episode here on Brewcast. And so Dominica, aka your brain coach, she helps high performers overcome anxiety and burnout using neuroscience. And the thing is, we talked about breakups, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up the guests. What's another guest? Anyway,
Too
what?
many guests.
Too many guests. Was the previous one? I'm sorry, Dominica. Dominica was
Yeah.
also amazing. But anyway,
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, we talk about how to make the best out of your breakup, and one of the recommendations was sports. Do sports. You're gonna get hotter, and it's just gonna help the breakup pass faster. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. So I would add that to the mix. I think it's
Oh,
a good.
play sports. Play sports. You said.
Yeah, do sports or play
Oh yeah,
sports.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I played pickleball. That actually helps. Yeah,
Really? Yeah.
pickleball. Yeah, it's fun. It's like a new tennis kind of thing, but it's a big ball with a racket. Looks like a big ping pong racket, but it's like different, right? But it's I personally don't like it. I like tennis better or ping pong, but it's a hybrid of both mixed together. It's weird, but it's popular.
I heard it's really popular right now. What's up with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it is popular. Yeah, yeah. Do you guys have play that in Germany? Pickleball?
No, it's not a. I never heard. I never seen here in Germany.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you should run open one there. You'll be popular. Pickleball. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
I'm sweating like a baby. So I'm so sorry, guys. It's 40 degrees here in Germany.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy funny. Yeah, yeah. We're about that, but I have AC in here though.
Oh, I'm so jealous. So it's 40 degrees. I have the lighting for the show right now. I think you guys can see on the camera. I'm all shiny, and Michael, believe it or not, the Germans do not believe in AC.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
They tough it out, eh?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh
ridiculous. It
man.
feels like a little
Yeah.
sauna. I'm sorry, man. So
You need a little mist, you know, those things that spray the mist in your head.
really, you're gonna look for it. How it's called?
I think a mist spray. It just sprays like water in your head, but I don't know, it might fry your thing on your head. So you know what? You don't get electrocuted too, though. But
Oh my god, I'm gonna look
my
it up either way.
yeah, mine's waterproof, by the way, too. Eh? Water resistant, so it helps.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about the hearing device. So
Yeah.
was watching the Apple presentation the other day, and they announced the new AirPods Pro, which also has a noise canceling feature, but also does uh, augments the audio. Like that's a setting that you can adjust on the fly on your phone. And I feel that's my gut feeling that they're trying to capitalize a little bit on on hearing devices as well.
Hmm.
Have
The only problem, yeah, for them is because it's still in ear, right? Mine is a product that is outside the ear, so it still can never really fully, you know, change people's minds, right? Like a lot of people, I think more people are swaying out of wearing stuff inside the ears now, right? So this is why this is probably going to be trending into the future because that's why more and more people are wearing this. Wearing something in your ears until you wear this, we actually send you one just for so you can actually, yeah, I'll send you one so you can actually because I heard in the beginning of the show you have certain prizes to give people, right? So sir, I've sent one to Australia. I don't mind sending you one so you can promote it there. But you can for subscribers, people that subscribe on your show, they could get a free device. I don't mind.
Oh, Michael, that would be amazing. We can totally
Yeah,
do that. Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
Make a little like something. Put the guests on the show. You can talk about their experience and whatever it is you want to, right? But we can always go that route too, right? So yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Hey guys, did you hear here you heard here first. Subscribe, like, and comment, and you might win one of the how it's called flow.
Yeah, the Flow
Foldable.
True Balance. Yeah, Flow True Balance for the 1.0 version. The 2.0 is not ready for 2 months, but I mean, people like this version as well, right? So, yeah, I can send you one, man. Then you can the winner can win it, and you can have someone in Germany wearing it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Give me your address after. We'll figure it out.
All right, beautiful. Um, all right, Michael. I guess I'm out of questions. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add or talk about?
Uh, Not really. That's pretty much that's it for me. But like, yeah, like I just feel like anyone that has an idea that wants to, if they're not a risk taker, take it from me. It's good to take risks because you just never know, right? If I never took the risk, I would never be sitting here talking to you, right? So people need to try to get out of their comfort zone. Need to, if they have an idea, try it out. If it fails, right? You just never know, right? So I feel like people shouldn't be too afraid and just do what their hearts desire, and you can be your own boss and you can be your own controller of your destiny, right? It's a great feeling to be your own boss, have a successful product. I know we're just hitting just it's just barely scratching the surface right now. So I know even for last year it's been trending and trending, but I know that it's going to get bigger and bigger. So like I said, next year I'm doing Dragon's Den. Like I'm going to audition for Dragon's Den. So that's going to be exciting because as I build up my financials for my product, my second product, they wanted me to build it up so I can give them the perfect pitch. So I already did a previous audition, but they said everything's good except for the financial. We need to build it up. Then they think that this is going to be something that changes the world, right? So hopefully, if that's the case, you can see me in Dragon's Den down the road, and they'll be like, "Hey, there's Michael," trying to get the global network going, global recognition, right?
For context, Dragon's Den is like Shark Tank.
It's the so Shark. Yeah, it's a spin-off. It's a brand. I think Australia has it. Different countries all have their own version of Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, but more of the Dragon's Den. Shark Tank's more of I think the States and some other places, but the one I did, Legacy Makers, is a spin-off kind of thing. So there's people that are in the show that's like the host, the previous host of that, and they're helping produce this new show, right? So this Legacy Makers has celebrities in it. I can't say the names because right now I can only say that it's going to be streamed on all major networks, but I can't say the exact names till I'm told I could because it's legal terms, legal legalities. So, but when it's ready in the summer, it's going to be available on all streaming networks, and it's going to be about all these different entrepreneurs like me all over the world. There's the 1% Club that they interviewed, that they want to talk about your life journey, struggles, everything in detail, but they can make it like a nice little Netflix documentary, like a short 25 minute kind of documentary, right? So I've already done it. They just have to edit it and put it all together. So I'm still waiting on that. But that's another thing that's gonna be getting a lot of exposure. So yeah.
Exciting, exciting. That's looking forward. All right. Thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure. Again, everyone,
Thank you.
this was not a sponsor. I'm really just excited about your product. Really, it was really fun. Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Don't forget, everyone, to like, subscribe, and comment. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If it's your first time watching the show, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please rank the show 5 stars. This will ensure that the podcast is recommended to even more people and allow me to keep doing what I love. Check out now the BRUCAST store, Explore store, filled with awesome goodies from hoodies to t-shirts to mugs. We've got you covered. Stay in style with BRUCAST. Embrace the shock, set the trend. Buy now at brew-cast.com/store. Again, that's brew-cast.com/store. Link on the description below. Be a BRUCAST model and get free stuff. We'd love to see how you and your loved ones enjoy BRUCAST. Snap a picture of yourself, your family, your friends, or even your pets wearing BRUCAST merch, or watching an episode of the show and send it to us and become part of BRUCAST. We will feature you and your pictures at the end of every episode, just like the ones you're seeing on the screen right now. You can upload your pictures at brew-cast.com/contact or tag us on social media. Alright everyone, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye bye.